from Meter Consulting, and I'm joined by my colleague, Candace Dickover. So we'll be giving you an overview this morning of a project that we're working on this year as part of our overall best practices project through the Bureau of CTE, and we really appreciate everyone's willingness and enthusiasm to help us out with this and to join us this morning for this kickoff meeting. So thank you in advance. Just a quick roster of everyone who has indicated interest in participating. I don't think everyone is on the call today, but why don't we just do a quick round robin and let everyone introduce themselves, and we'll just follow the order that's on the slide here. I do think we have Michelle and Maria from Monroe online with us. If you have audio, would you like to just say good morning and introduce yourselves? Go ahead.
I have audio. Do I?
Yes, you do. We hear you. Go ahead, please.
Okay, good. This is Michelle Bonser from Monroe CTI. I'm the instructional coach, and my specialty is mathematics. My colleague is Maria Hafler, and she's just getting her chair around here. Her specialty is English language arts.
Great. Thank you both for joining us this morning. We're glad to have you here.
Thank you.
I am going to try to keep everyone's microphones unmuted. If some of you have been on our larger webinar sessions, you may know that we usually mute everyone, but it sounds like there's not a lot of background noise, and I'd prefer to keep this somewhat informal if we can. So we're gonna try to do that. Lisa Hughes from Reading-Muhlenberg is not online with us today, as far as I know. I think she was working on something with an instructor, but she is a math coach there, and she will be joining us. Alan Jones, I think I spoke with you this morning. Would you like to introduce yourself?
This is Alan Jones, and I'm an instructional coach here at the Lancaster County CTC at the Mount Joy campus. My background is horticulture was my classroom instruction, and past 7 years I've been an instructional coach.
Great. Thanks for joining us. Happy to have you online. Kathy Jones from Indiana County. Are you online with us, Kathy? Okay. I don't think she's joining us. Alan, is Kathy any relation to you?
No, she is not.
Okay. Just out of curiosity.
I know.
Alrighty. How about Jack from LCTI? Are you online with us? Okay. I think we have Tracy Stetler from Reading-Muhlenberg. Good morning, Tracy.
Good morning. Tracy Stetler, Reading-Muhlenberg CTC. I am the literacy coach.
Great. Thanks, Tracy, for joining us this morning. How about Kathy Thomas from Clearfield? Do we have Kathy online? Nope, doesn't sound like it. And I know we have Tiffany online. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi, my name is Tiffany Vanasco. I am from the Lawrence County Career and Tech Center. I am the literacy coach here this year, and I also teach English 12, and I'm also the senior project coordinator. And my colleague, Mr. Bob Seminara, should be coming up here pretty soon. He teaches construction trades here at the Tech Center.
Okay, fantastic. Thanks, everyone. And we definitely are interested in having more folks helping out and joining us. So this is an ongoing effort. And so if you have colleagues who weren't able to join us this morning or think they may be interested, please do pass the info along and keep them in the loop because we're the more the merrier, I guess. So again, I'm Jennifer Grahams. I'm with Meter Consulting, and my colleague Candace is online as well. So she'll be listening in and making note of any action items or any follow-up requests that we have for our session today. So with that, let me go ahead and just jump in, give you an idea of, I'm furiously trying to click here, get to my next slide. Okay, so just to give you a little bit of context for what we are doing with this effort, for the past couple years, we at Meter Consulting have been facilitating some online virtual professional learning communities for instructors from the program areas that you see listed on the slide. And I know many of you are familiar with them and have even helped us out with presenting on the sessions, and we're really grateful for all the support with that. Some of the feedback that we've received from instructors who have participated in the PLCs is that they liked the information that was shared, and they want even more resources and lesson plans and materials that they can sort of grab and go. Things, information and resources that they can take a quick look at, see how it fits into their overall program, and then implement it, even that day or the next day in their classroom. So what we're doing is collecting, and we'll be organizing and cataloging lesson plans, instructional resources, tips and tools, sort of a wide open variety of information that will be valuable and useful to the instructors in the classroom. And we're focusing right now just on the 9 PLC program areas. Potentially this could be expanded, but as of right now, that's our focus area. And we'll be, as I mentioned, collecting the resources, organizing them, and eventually posting them online, probably to the Penn State Greater Allegheny website where they have the TAP resources. We're not sure exactly yet where they're going to be housed or located, but that's our tentative plan. So just to give you a sense of what we're looking for, as I mentioned, a variety of resources and lessons that can be taken and used in the classrooms. We would certainly welcome lessons that are program specific, that are skills based, that are focusing on a specific task, as well as information and resources that are general enough that can be used in any program area. So I know we had asked for you to share some examples of what you might be able to share, and it sounded like there are definitely some math lessons that would be applicable to multiple program areas, and then there are some that are specific concepts that are specific to a particular program. All of that is welcome, as well as literacy, tools and information, and as well as other, even just a listing of, here are some helpful websites for review, games, applications, and so forth. So our goal is to collect at least 5 to 10 lessons for each, lessons or resources for each of those 9 program areas. So that's our starting goal, but certainly if we exceed that, that's great as well. Any questions so far? I'll tell you a little bit about what our process and how we're planning to go through this. But are there any questions or comments on that so far? Just please feel free to speak up. I don't have a raise your hand icon or anything like that. Okay. I don't hear any, so please interrupt me if you do. So in terms of our timeline, we are planning to collect the lessons and the resources over the next month or so, 6 to 8 weeks. We'll then review those, put those in a catalog, sort of organize them, and then we will hopefully over the summertime get those materials ready to be posted to a website. Along the way, we are thinking that it could be beneficial or useful to hold a couple of these online sessions where you may choose to share with each other lessons or resources. If that's something that is of interest to the group, we'd certainly be happy to coordinate that and facilitate that. So please think about that a little bit if that might be something that would be of interest or of value to you. One of the ways that we're hoping that to make this resource collection very useful and user-friendly to the instructors is that we are not requiring the lessons or the resources to be in a specific format. So they do not need to be in the SAS, the Standard Aligned System format. We're accepting materials and resources in whatever format they're currently in, if that's in a PowerPoint slide deck or Word documents, Excel, what have you. We're also trying to be sensitive to your workload and knowing that you have a lot that you're juggling and going on at this time as well. So we're not looking for you to put in additional effort to put things in a specific format. We will take them in whatever format they currently are in. We will, however, be asking you to complete a cover sheet for each lesson or resource that you're sharing. And the purpose of that is just so that we have a brief description and some information that will help us with organizing and cataloging the resources. So that will be a one-page sheet. We're finalizing that, and I will be sending that out to you, just collecting some basic information, and also so that we can give everyone credit for the information that they're sharing, as well as if someone had a question or a comment or something about the lesson, that they would know where to go for that. So there will be a cover sheet that we'll ask you to complete for each item that you share. We'll ask you to attach all the files, however many there are and whatever format they're in, to an email and send it to us. You can, if you remember, it's helpful if you could put PLC resource or something like that in the subject heading, and then send it to me electronically. And I will gather all of those, and as we start to have a set of those, start going through those and organizing them. There is the opportunity, as I mentioned, if folks on the call are interested, to have one or more of these virtual meetings where we can talk about the lessons that are being shared and provide an opportunity for you to talk with each other. If that's something that is of interest, we're happy to facilitate that. And then ultimately, when the online toolkit is complete and we have some educational materials about that, we'll ask you just to share that information with your teachers on staff at your school. Any questions or thoughts about that?
I think the online meetings are beneficial. I know sometimes with, even for myself, I don't know if I can speak for everybody, but I can look at something, but listening to somebody explain how they approach it as well is very beneficial. So I do like that idea.
Okay. And, that is another consideration, is that, as part of the toolkit, we could even potentially record little segments where that information is being shared. So in addition to posting the resources, we could also post a link to, here's a 5-minute YouTube video of the coach or the instructional person describing the lesson. So if folks are interested in doing that, we can certainly add that to the toolkit as well. But are there others who are interested in potentially holding a couple meetings just with this group to share with each other and to have some time for that? I know it's a super busy time of year. Is anyone else interested in that? I can set up like a doodle poll or something with potential dates and times and throw that out there if it's more helpful to have a specific dates and times to respond to.
What's that?
Okay.
In CT? What's that? Is that what she said?
I'll go ahead and do that as a follow-up to our meeting today, just to do a sort of a quick poll to see if that might be of interest. Another thought that we had is potentially doing an in-person meeting this spring or summer. I don't know if anyone might be interested in that. We could do, I know we have folks from all across the state on the call. We could even potentially do a for Western Pennsylvania and the Eastern, if that was helpful, or if there's another event that you are all planning to attend anyway, and maybe we could do a breakout session related to that. We could certainly consider something like that as well. Are there any upcoming meetings or conferences that folks on this call are planning to attend in the spring or summer?
I have, aside from coaching meetings that we have here, and I'm Western Pennsylvania, I know that there are some PIC sponsors, some coaching seminars or conferences, but I'm not able to attend any of those. I'm not sure if they're this summer or not. But aside from that, I know that we don't have anything going on here. I see on this slide here interest in a CTE coaching PLC next year. That would be coaching new CTE teachers. Would you be able to explain a little bit more about that?
Sure. So we're in the planning phases for next year's best practices project that Meter Consulting would potentially be continuing with the Bureau. And one of the ideas we had was to build off of the work that we'll be doing with collecting these resources for the toolkit, and potentially host a virtual PLC for coaches and instructional staff at the PLC, or I'm sorry, at the CTCs. So the initial thought that we had was that we would convene a group of folks such as you, and provide the opportunity for ongoing discussion and sharing of resources and so forth. So it wouldn't necessarily be bringing in the teachers. It would be more a forum and an opportunity for you to speak with each other and to share and to talk about some of these topics that are on here. One session could potentially be on new CTE teachers. So we could pull together what are some tips or some resources that you've, in your experience, found to be the most useful when working with a new CTE teacher. That's what we were considering might be something of interest.
Okay, because I know we have a few new CTE teachers on staff. I think that would be something that would be very beneficial to new teachers, because it is a huge transition from the workplace to the classroom. There's a lot of responsibilities that go along with that. So I think that's
okay.
I like the idea of the coaching PLC for next year. I think that would be a great idea. I would like hearing what other coaches are doing, and just like on the screen where it says having difficult conversations with teachers and data collection and things like that. I would be very interested in hearing from other coaches.
Okay, and that was Tracy?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Alrighty. Well, we are planning to put that into our proposal for next year's project. So we'll keep everyone posted on that as that gets finalized and everything, and if we might come to this group with some requests for topics or additional things that you might be interested in sharing and hearing about. And we could even bring in guest speakers, and just however that would be the most beneficial and useful to everyone, we could certainly structure that. So please stay tuned on that. Any other, I guess, before I jump forward, that's the gist of what I was wanting to share with you all today. Are there any other questions or thoughts about the collection of the resources that come to mind at the moment for anyone?
Jennifer, this is Tracy.
Sure.
Is the information that's going to be posted, is that going to be on the SAS website, or is that on a meter website?
Right now we are thinking that it's going to be on the Penn State Greater Allegheny site, probably under the TAP resources section.
Okay.
But that's not 100% yet. We're trying, again, the goal is just to try to make it as easy to access and user-friendly as possible, try to break down as many barriers as we can for the teachers who will be accessing the information.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Great. Well, if anyone has questions or comments as we go, please feel free to contact me directly. I will follow up with everyone with that cover sheet that I mentioned that we'll ask you to use and when you're sending your information along, as well as I'll also include the link to the session that we're having this morning, so you can share that with anyone who may have not been able to join us. While I have everyone on the line, I did want to also just share one update about our current year PLCs, in case any of you are in contact with your instructors who are participating on our PLCs, or if you yourself were planning to attend our upcoming session. So our final PLC session for this year is scheduled. They are scheduled for March and April, and it's going to be focusing on integration of math into the CTE classroom. And Lisa Hughes from Reading-Muhlenberg, who's not on our call today, but who is going to be participating in this effort, is our guest speaker, and she's done a lot of work with some lessons that folks have submitted and pulling together some great examples for that. We have the dates and times that we've had scheduled for those sessions. We've gotten quite a bit of feedback from instructors that they wouldn't be able to attend, both either due to NOCD prep or catching up from all of these crazy snow days that we've had. So we're changing the format slightly for the final round of PLC webinars, and I just wanted to mention it. We will be sending out an update and a note to all of the PLC members and directors, but just in case anyone comes to you and asks you about it, or if you're interested in watching the session as well, I wanted to let you know that for our final webinars, we're actually going to be doing a recorded session. So we will be getting online with Lisa and recording a math integration webinar that we will send out the link to our PLC members. That will be posted on YouTube, and then they will be able to watch it whenever it fits into their schedule. They can watch it during their regularly scheduled PLC meeting time if they already have a substitute lined up or if that works for them, but they won't need to be online at that specific time. They can watch it when they want. Lisa will also be recording a brief, approximately 10-minute mini session for each specific program area where she'll share examples specific to their program. And then the PLC members will watch the video and we'll ask them to complete a brief activity and send that to us by sort of the end of April, which will count as their credit for having watched that session. So again, just a heads up on that, and if you are interested in watching the video, certainly we welcome that. In fact, I can send out the link to the Meter Consulting YouTube channel because all of our PLC webinars from this year are posted there. So if you have interest in viewing any of them, we would certainly welcome that. And this is in addition to trying to be responsive to the feedback from the PLC members. This is also a bit of a test for an idea that we are thinking of trying out for next year as well. So we're interested and curious to see how this format goes over with the instructors, of having a recorded session that they watch and then respond to, and potentially have a discussion. Not with this session, we won't have a discussion group, but in next year's PLCs, we might do something like that. So just wanted to share that with you, hot off the press. So with that, are there any additional questions or comments?
Jennifer, this is Tiffany from Lawrence County. This is the first time that I've been introduced to any of this. So would it be okay for me to email you some questions that I have? Next year, I will have more time in my schedule to be an instructional coach, and I'm sure that this is something that my director is going to want me to get involved in. But I do have a few questions. Can I just email you at that email address that you sent this information out on?
Yes, please. Be more than happy to have a follow-up phone call or communicate via email, whatever is most convenient for you. Absolutely.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Jennifer?
Yes, go ahead, please.
This is Alan Jones. Somebody had mentioned about CTE coaches getting together. There is a coaching clinic sponsored by two of our CT DSLs in the state, Mike Curley and Heather Snyder. They meet in 3 locations across the state. The dates are May 7th. They're meeting at A.W. Beatty, and May 14th at Cumberland Perry ABTS, and May 21st at North Monco. I can send you that flyer that maybe then you could disseminate to the other ones in case they want to join that. And I didn't know if you're talking about maybe piggybacking a little bit with them.
Thank you, Alan, for mentioning that. Yes, someone had told me about those sessions, and I meant to ask on our call today if anyone is planning to attend those. Thank you for bringing that up. Are you planning to go to one of those, Alan? Do you typically go?
Yeah, they hold that every spring, and we've been going ever since they've installed.
Okay, great. Is anyone else planning to attend one of the sessions hosted by Mr. Curley and Dr. Curley?
This is Lawrence County. We may want to attend one of those clinics. I've noticed you mentioned Beatty. I think that might be in a relatively doable distance from us. I think that's Western Pennsylvania. So if you're able to send out that information for those 3 dates and locations, that'd be great, and I could talk to my director.
Okay.
Tracy, we typically, Lisa and I, attend the Eastern Region one. The dates I have, though, on that are a little different than what Mr. Jones mentioned. I have May 8th, May 15th, and May 22nd. So we may have to double check some dates.
Okay. Well, I can certainly check on that as well, because I had in the back of my mind that perhaps we might be able to piggyback off of that session. I had just forgotten to mention it. So I can certainly follow up with Heather Snyder and get the exact dates on that and see if there might be an opportunity for us to add something or have a touch point there with that if that's something that many of you might be attending anyway. So I'll take that as an action item.
They're very good. They're a really good opportunity for coaches to share.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoy that part.
Excellent. Any other thoughts or comments at this point?
Do you know at this time who, which programs are going to be participating in next year's PLCs?
I don't know for certain, but we are proposing to continue with the 6 program areas that are participating this year. So let me see if I can do them from memory. Auto body collision, culinary, all right, I'm sorry. I'm going to go back to my cheat sheet here. Commercial arts, electrical, health medical, and welding. So we're proposing that. We also proposed to do a PLC for new teachers that wouldn't replace the induction programs that they have at their schools, but that could supplement that. And that potentially would be open to all program areas. But again, this is all completely unofficial. Nothing has been approved yet. Those are just some of the areas that we were suggesting might be of interest.
Thank you.
Sure. All right. Well, thank you again to everyone for taking the time to meet with us this morning. I really appreciate your willingness to help out and to share and to collaborate. Looking forward to getting this up and running. We've talked about doing something like this for a couple years and just haven't been able to get it organized. So we're happy to have so many folks who are willing to participate and contribute this year. So I will follow up with an email, as I mentioned, with some of the information that I promised to get, as well as a link to this recording for this meeting this morning so others can listen in. And please do feel free to contact me at any time if you have a question or you're wondering if a particular resource or lesson would be useful. Anything of that nature, I'm more than happy to get on a phone call or communicate via email, whatever is the most convenient for you. So thanks again. Oh, you know what? I will also share out just a listing of everyone who is on the call and who had indicated interest so that you can have each other's emails and phone numbers and so forth as well in case you want to communicate directly for any particular reason. I'll be happy to share that out as well. So thanks again, everyone. Hope that you have a good rest of the day, and we'll look forward to talking with you again soon.
Thank you, Jennifer.
Thank you.